Let me just get your thoughts on oil, because on these geopolitical tensions in general, it hasn't actually moved that much. Is this because trade, so it's almost like a plus minus and it balances out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a very fresh item, but I think in general, I'd say for all the commodity space, with some exceptions, we have seen this kind of cooling of interest and cooling of economic activity that's taken the shine off some of the performance that we'd had earlier in the year for commodities, and I guess oil is no exception to that. But I think you should never underestimate the impact of political risk in the energy markets.
What does the trade tensions do to commodities?
I think it just creates uncertainty, and uncertainty means that people start to think, do we need to buy our supplies at this point? Are we going to get a better opportunity in the future? And I think it's that, what are our customers going to want from us if you're a producer of something? So everyone kind of cools down a bit. There's a little bit less activity going on. But we have had some, very specific supply disruptions. And one of the areas that's been confusing to us most recently is in the copper market, where we've seen, most producers year to date have announced significantly lower levels of production, either through disruptions or through poor operating results. And so it's annualizing at kind of 1.5 million tons of disrupted supply year to date, if that was to continue for the year as a whole. Yet the copper market is lower, which is a bit of a conundrum, really.
Evy, how linked are commodities right now? Is there sort of like an industrial linkage? I don't mean oil and everything else, but what are the correlations right now within the entire asset class?
The correlations are very tight, except where you have those specific supply disruptions. So you look at iron ore, for example, where you've got massive supply disruption that's come out earlier in the year. Obviously, very unfortunate events, but that has completely changed the dynamics of the market there. I mean, every analyst on the street was expecting iron ore prices to trend lower this year, and we've had exactly the opposite take place. So outside of where you've got very, very specific supply impact, the correlation's been pretty tight.
I saw some long chat on commodities in general. Where are we in the super cycle right now? Have we actually seen a turn? I mean, I know it's a dangerous question, but give me a less dangerous answer. Can you actually go long on commodities?
Yeah, we think about it really from the equity point of view. And at these prices, despite the fact we've had some softness recently, the companies are generating phenomenal levels of cash flow. And most of the companies today are running with very low levels of gearing. So, when we think about that, plus the supply discipline that we've spoken about many times in the past, the opportunity set is pretty rich.